on every call, it seems like, excuse me, I'm trying to multitask. It seems like at least once a week, I have a call where I walk a title rep or an agent through this process. And that's why I thought, hey, it's time to do a Tuesday Title Toolbox presentation on how to upload a farm. So this is being recorded right now. And I will have a link to it. So if you don't get a chance to take notes, if you have questions, hit me up. I can send you the link out. We're probably going to put it onto our YouTube channel on Benutech. And again, I'll give that a quick shout out is if you go to YouTube, type in Benutech, look for this icon, click that icon right there, and it's going to be the one that looks like the James Bond. There's 200 videos here on navigations, tips, things like that. So this is a really good resource. I keep coming back to it. So I'm going to go ahead now and get into the basic or the meat, I should say, of this presentation. So one is you have to have a farm to upload. It has to be on a spreadsheet, whether you're on a Mac or whether you're on a Windows computer. It's going to be saved in CSV, comma, separated value. So one of the things that I find is a lot of different levels of computer use and Microsoft Office application ability. We're not asking people to be experts when they use our system as far as, you know, computer programs, applications. No, but we expect, as you probably do, expect people to know their way around a little bit. And that's not always the case. I mean, that's not a knock on anyone. It's just we're all at different levels. So I wanted to also incorporate today how to do some of the basic Excel functions and upload a farm. It takes me, like I said, about 15 minutes today to explain this process. But in actuality, to upload a farm from start to finish is only like 2 or 3 minutes. It's a very simple process, okay? So if you have a farm, and I'm still letting people in, and again, for the people that are just coming in, this is recorded, so you haven't missed anything, okay? And you can just send me an email, and we'll get the link out to you this afternoon once Zoom processes this presentation. So first of all, step one is you have a farm. You need to put the farm on your computer where you can easily find it, which will be the desktop. And I don't know if you all can see this. And you're all muted right now, by the way, so feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question or anything. And I have my chat window up. I don't always check that as much as I should, but feel free to always ask a question. So you need to have your farm where you can find it easily. So here's a farm I took. It's called Morovia Boundary Search, single family only. So I opened the farm up. You know, and someone might have given you a farm. It might be a farm that you had from, you know, took out a Metro scan, say. And I'll pick on Metro scan in a minute here. All right, so here's my farm. So this farm came directly from our company, Benutech, okay? And one of the things is we have an ID here under this column. So that's why I knew it was. First thing you should do, here's some tips, tricks, make your life easier on uploading farms. One is you want to note how many properties you have. There's 100 properties, 101. But 101 is the first row here, the header row. So there's 100 properties even. That's an important figure. I'll come back to that when we're almost done. But you need to know, you should know how many properties you have. In our system, and this is a big spreadsheet, like I said, it's like probably 30 columns. Our system only requires 3 columns. A lot of times, like if you're a title rep, the agent will say, hey, can you upload it? Yes. What do you need? We don't need the owner name. A lot of people think we need the owner name. That's one thing that gets updated based on the 3 columns of information we require. We don't need the owner's name. We just need 3 columns. So the 3 columns are APN. What I do is I click the column, highlight the column that I want to save. APN. You need site address. Highlight that. And you need site zip. So everything's based on the site. So I highlighted the 3 columns I need. And if you click, again, some Excel basics, click, drag it over, opens it up. If you click the entire sheet, go here to justify your columns. You don't need to move it over, but I like to. Right click on the column you want to delete, select, right click, delete that column. We don't need that one. Right click, and you can just, when these columns right here, you click, and you can just drag all the way over. We don't need any of these columns. That's it. Delete. All right, so those are the 3 columns that I need. So far, so good, right? So, in our system, and I'm going to segue, if you're familiar with CoreFact, because we integrate quite nicely with them, one of the exports in CoreFact that we have, let me go over there a second. Right here is a cloud icon. You can export to CoreFact right there, or in a farm, there'll be a drop down, and I'll show it to you afterwards, and it's a CoreFact export. They need 8 columns. We only need 3. They need 8. So the CoreFact export selects the 8 you need. You don't need to manually do that like I just did. Click on the upper corner here to select the entire sheet. Get rid of your color if you want. No need to have that now. All right, the very first column, I'm going to right click, insert. All right, I inserted, and this is going to be site zip. I'm going to select on column D, right click, cut, drop it in, paste. So I've moved the site zip code to the first column, APN second column, site address third column. A lot of times the sheet will not upload, the farm will not upload properly because of the formatting of the header row. So the format needs to be exactly as I type here. Site zip, one word, lowercase, site zip. Second column, APN, that's it. Third column, all lowercase, site underscore address. That's it. So the sheet that you have, again, may not have as many columns as I started with. It may not have headers, whatever. You need to have this sheet, and it's coming together now quite nicely. Site zip, lowercase, all one word. APN, caps, site underscore address, spelled correctly. I had a sheet once I uploaded, and I omitted one of the S's, and it didn't upload. Those are the 3 columns you need. Okay? In that format and in that order. Site zip, APN, site underscore address, easy peasy. If you do not have the APN, it's not required. We highly recommend it. We want it. If you do not have it, the capture rate, and I have 100 properties here, the capture rate will probably be around 80% maybe. And it's problematic if you're looking for condos, apartment buildings with units, things like that. The APN really is necessary. However, an agent doesn't have it, you're an agent, you don't have it, fine. You still need to include the APN column. The program is going to be looking for these 3 columns, site zip, APN, site address. It's going to be looking for those columns. So if you deleted the APN column, since you don't have any, the program's going to kind of be puzzled by that, saying, hey, where's the APN? So you do need, even if there is no APNs here, you do need to have an APN column. So that could be blank. It'll cut down probably on our matches. I've had pretty good luck without them. I've had better luck with them. Next, these two columns, A and B, select them. Right-click, format cell. Number. Right now, if you see, this is just stored as a general format, or sometimes it'll be as a text. It has to be those two columns formatted as a number. Remove the decimals, hit OK. So now those two columns are now formatted as numbers. I'm going to go back through these steps one more time, and again, this is recorded if you need it. So site zip as numbers, APN as numbers, this is text, that's fine. Couple of things. Site zip. Sometimes you say, oh, Jim, I have site plus 4, zip plus 4, say. All right, let's say you do. Let's say you have a big spreadsheet. You're not going to go down manually and get rid of those, right? It's ridiculous. You can't do it. You could select a column, go over to find and select, find. What I want to find is the dash, and then I put a wildcard in. I find that, and then I hit replace, and I just want to replace it with nothing as a space, replace all. There you go. It's that simple. Did you catch that? All right. I hope you did. So right now, are we good? That's a little Excel hack, because you might have zip plus 4. Again, if you had zip plus 4, and I'm using my back arrow, say I had 100 addresses here, and it was zip plus 4. Well, I'm not going to do that manually. I've uploaded big files. It'll take you forever. So I just select the column. I go into find, replace, and find. One and the same, find. And I want to find, like I said, I want to find everything to the right. And wildcards, I can't remember all of them. I just use asterisk, meaning there's a value. I don't know what it is. Find all. This finds that one. I want to replace it. What do I want to replace it with? Nothing. So I just hit a space. Replace. There we go. Took it out. Got it? The same, excuse me. The same applies. The same applies to APN. APNs cannot have dashes themselves. It would be the same process. They cannot have spaces. Sometimes an APN might have a space, like right there, depending on the program. So if that's the case, you would hit select the column, find, replace, find. Which is not coming up right now. That's unusual. That's really kind of weird. I'm not going to be able to do that right now. That's very strange. Put that back in here a minute. I think my computer program froze up a little bit here. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that. Let me go into a quick spreadsheet here. Sorry about that. All right, let me go back in here now. All right, so now let's see if we're working now. Yeah, okay, so we're back. I need a little bit more RAM memory in my computer probably. All right, so under APN, let's just say there's a space here, because some APNs will have a space. There's a space. Select the column, go to find. What do I want to find? Same thing. Instead of finding with a wildcard, I want to find a space. Find all. I found that one. I want to replace it. I want to backspace and replace. And I just replaced it with nothing. So that took the space out. Okay? We good with that? So the takeaway is to get rid of zip +4 or any spaces, because you cannot have that. Sheet has to look exactly like this. It's simply find and replace. And again, if you watch the tutorial or Google it, it'll show you the same way, but that's a pretty easy trick. We're almost done, believe it or not. If I go to File, File, Save As. I'm not going to change the name of the file. It's Morovia Boundary Search. What I am going to change is the format. It's CSV. That's when you export from our system or your system. Like I said, you need to have it in CSV. That's pretty much generic, and it would work on a Mac. Hit the drop down. What you want it in is this one right here, Excel 97-2003 workbook. Not to be confused with template. See the difference? 9703 template, it has a different extension. Excel 9703 workbook, the extension is .xls. Yes, that's my format. I'm not going to change the name. Okay, I'm going to go up and find a place to put it. We will put it on the desktop right there, Excel 9703, save. Okay, now that I think about it though, let me go back in here, File, Save As, Excel. What I would do on this maybe is note that it's formatted. Forget to mention that, okay? That way you know what file you're looking for. Morovia Boundary Search, single family only, formatted, 9703. And for those joining us a little late, no worries, this has been recorded. Send me an email. I'll get the link out to you this afternoon. So Morovia Boundary Search, single families, formatted, 97.xls, save. There we go. All right, we're done. Three columns. Site zip, APN, site _ address. These two columns saved as numbers, no spaces, no dashes, good to go. If you had, say, a property here without one site address or a couple missing, I wouldn't fret too much about it. We should still be able to find it. Typically, the APN really is the most critical column. So save it, close it, go into your program. Go to farming, down to farms, upload. There we go. Right here, just like a lot of computer systems, drag and drop your file or browse. Click your computer to browse. Here it is, Morovia Boundary Search SFR only, formatted, yes, terrific. There we go. Here's where you need to name it now. You can rename it at this point. I'm going to rename it Title Toolbox Tuesday Test Farm. Okay? Create a new farm. Yes, I could upload this. If I was a title rep, the agent says, hey, can you send it over to me? You could upload it immediately to your agent's account. I would recommend not on the first upload, because we have 100 properties in a farm. We're not sure how many our system would match. So if say it was a larger farm, doesn't matter, but say it was, the agent wants you to upload it to his or her account. You do that. As a title rep, you do not have access to their account. So you would not know, what the success is. So you want to take an extra step, upload it to your account first, and then go in, find a farm, and I'll show you this, and then just resave it once you know your success rate. So we put the farm in, create a new farm, labeled, upload. Great, we got success. So what I consider a small farm, and this was a larger sheet for single family in Morovia, that was a large farm, you know, it was over 2,000 properties. I cut that down because the more properties that we have to search for in our system, the longer it takes. So 100 properties is a pretty small farm, relatively small. Go to farming, down to farms, save farms, and it's not there yet, okay? There's a refresh button right here. If I hit refresh, there we go. Just like magic. Title Toolbox Tuesday test farm. Was I nervous saying, wow, what if it doesn't upload? No, because we did everything right. If for some reason, everyone on this call today, you try it and the farm does not upload. Oh, I followed your instructions, Jim. I'm sure you did. Send me this farm over. I'll take a look at it. Okay? Send me the farm over. So remember when I told you, jot down or commit to memory how many properties? There's 100 properties right there. That's why you want to know. So I hit select. Here's my beautiful farm. This was Morovia, single families. Now I can go down. I can look for phones and emails, deaths, divorces, bankruptcies, whatever. Let's not forget, though, as the title rep, I wanted to save this to my agent's account. So I would hit resave. I would name the farm again. So he or she wanted it named Morovia. Okay, Morovia, single family. Okay, hold on a minute. All right, I named it. I'm going to select right here, save to another account, and then we hide it on you right in plain sight. That little select link comes up. Then you find your agent. So yes, they would need to have a Title Toolbox account. John Daly, and I spoke with John Daly, and he's not the golfer though, but I did speak with him. That's why he caught my attention. So John Daly is now selling real estate. Just kidding. I want to put it into his account. If I hit select, and now I have Morovia, single family, 100 properties to John Daly's account. If I hit save, I'm not going to, but if I do, then John Daly will now have that same farm in his account. That's simple. So if an agent said to the title reps, hey, can you upload my book of business? Can you upload this farm or that farm? It's easier to upload it. Super easy to do. It just takes 15 minutes to explain the process. So if I hit save, John Daly gets an email saying you have a new farm. It has an active link. He clicks on the link. He's now right in front of his farm. As a title rep, you look like an amazing computer expert, right? Questions, you guys? I see I got a couple of people that want Richard and Scott. Yes, I'll send that out later this afternoon. Questions? You guys are on mute, so you need to unmute yourself if you have questions.
I have a question.
Sure.
So this would be like for a free account for our agents?
Right,
Or
so
they,
you would set, oh, go ahead, please. No, go
yeah,
ahead.
or are they paying for this?
So what title company are you with, Lisa?
Lawyer's title.
So lawyers title, and the reason I ask is, we're a national company and we have all of our clients on these calls, and it depends on where you're at, because like in Washington State, say, or Texas, I believe, some companies are not free, but for you and for everyone in California, yes. So this is a free account. So if you see my screen right here, let me segue off just a second. If you go to, say I logged in under your account, Lisa, I go to my account, I go to admin, and then right here, add new user. So if you wanted to sign someone up, all you do is follow those steps, and you just plug in only their red dots. The red dotted information is all you need, and you hit add user, and that will give them a free account, and they'll receive their login credentials. So yes, to answer your question, it's free.
Yes.
It's compliant. That's why, we have such great success. You're giving them the portal to purchase these records, whether they do new farming or, in this case, upload their previous book of business. Because once that farm is uploaded, now they can go drill down. How many people in my book of business have had deaths in the last year, say? You've already been out to the house as an agent. With COVID-19, you don't need to go back out. You can just pick it up right from the get-go, and make some calls to your clients, basically. Hey, how's it going? They'll tell you, well, not too great. It's been rough with COVID-19. Been through some problems here, things like that. So that's why that's really a huge thing, is to be able to upload a book of business.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Jim, quick question. If you have, sorry about that, give me a second.
Yeah, you're on. Yeah, go ahead. You got a little feedback, but that's okay. Gabriel,
Okay,
go ahead.
if you have a book of business without addresses, is it possible to do the same process?
Yeah, so I don't know if you joined me late or not, and again, I'll send the link over if you want it. I recorded that. But the thing is, the 3 columns we need is site zip, APN, and site address. So that's it. That's all we need. The rest you delete. The APN, really, out of those 3 columns, are all critical. The APN is top of the list, critical. The site address, if I deleted the site address, chances are you're still going to have pretty good luck capturing those, okay? Because it goes by the APN. We really want all 3, but we realize that not everyone has, the APN. They should have the site address if a couple was missing, So follow me on this if you're up for a little game here. Hold on a second here. Give me 1 second. Give me a second. I'll show you what I mean. So here's the sheet that I already formatted. Oh, sorry. I think I deleted it by mistake. Hold on. Was this the one here? Hold on a second, guys. Yeah, this one right here. I meant to pull that one out. Okay. All right, so here's the sheet here's the sheet. Remember, I saved it as formatted. So if I bring this one up, to answer Gabriel's question, if I bring this one up, here it is right here. All right, so let's just say I have 100 properties here, and Gabriel's question was, what if I don't have the site address? I'm going to delete that. So now I have the 3 columns, which I still need, and now I'm going to hit File and Save As, and it was formatted, but I'm going to rename that to formatted and no addresses. All right. Save Excel 97, save. Oh, sorry, I got to close that up. Close that up, and then I'm going to go back to Title Toolbox. I'm going to upload that farm. Let's see, we'll answer your question, Gabriel. Farming, upload. Here it is. It's that one there. See how it, if you hover over it, no addresses, click, bang, no addresses. I need to name this. I'm going to call it Title Toolbox Tuesday. And I'm just going to call it no addresses. All right, so Title Toolbox, no addresses. I'm going to upload it. I got a success. Well, because you get a success here doesn't mean you're going to get a success once it gets uploaded. It's just showing you that you did everything right. So I'm going to go to farming. I'm going to go down to farms, say farms again. Here's our original farm, right? Title Toolbox Tuesday test farm. Hit refresh. Let's see if might have to. I'm rushing it a little bit, guys. So here we go. There you go, Gabriel. To answer your question, see it right here. Title Toolbox, no addresses, 100 properties. That would not be the case though if I omitted APNs. I don't believe we do 100%. So it's nice to have all 3 columns, highly recommend APN. So let's just say, yeah, make sure you understand. I hit the drop down. I could delete that, rename it, open it up. Select, here's my columns, my farm, I should say, nice and neat, all put in. One of the things I've tried to coach people on is sold in date. Ascend to descend. Look at this. If this was my farm of 100 properties, then 2 of my properties have sold or changed owners, Phillips and Ben. That's interesting. I sold those properties 5 or 6 years ago, 905 Valley View or 206 Mountain. I didn't get repeat business when they went to list that house again. So I would call up Phillips and say, hey, it's Jim, whatever my real estate company is. Congratulations on purchasing that house. The previous owner was a client of mine. How's it going? Again, kind of off topic now, but Phillips says, well, I love the house, but I might have to relist myself. You know, I've fallen on hard times with COVID, say. So that's the value here is to go in and find out, you know, who you might have lost out a relisting to. Or go to Premier Data. There's only 100 properties, but how many of my 100 properties, and this is my book of business, how many of my 100 properties have gone through, you know, tough times themselves? How many deaths? Or bankruptcies in this case, I hit the wrong one, in the last, say, 12 months? Maybe there's none. We'll see. There's only 100 properties here, so no, 0. Kind of a fishing expedition, but we might get a taker here. Affidavits of death. So none.
Jim,
I'm probably going to get zeros. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a way to do this as well for a book of business, let's say for property owners in a certain area, but we don't have addresses and we don't have APNs?
Then you're going to get a 0 on that.
Got it.
You know, so to answer you, yes, you can't take the book of business and upload it. No, because then you're only going by zip code. So that doesn't do any good. You really need that APN because I proved you can do 100% without the addresses. But if you don't have either one of those, so then the only other thing you can do is go into farming, you know, and do a boundary or radius search or recreate the farm that way, which might take a little effort. Good question, though. Other questions? Again, this is something that I get asked at least once a week to teach people on. And so it's going to be a link. So again, if you need a refresher as a title rep, when you have an agent on the phone right now, you know, say, send me a book of business, let me upload it. And then you're able to, A, get the weekly updates, B, reconnect with people, because these are people here, like hypothetically, I didn't know that Phillips was the new owner or Ben was the new owner, so you can connect with them. Or C, you can drill down and see who had deaths, bankruptcies, divorces, and maybe start the relisting process again as an agent. So there's 3 real value points to uploading a book of business. It's that simple. Questions, or would anyone like to share anything with the group here today? And again, I'm wide open for topics. What would you like to see, you know, for a 15 minutes, 30-minute tutorial every other Tuesday? Send me an email. What would you like to see? It's up to you guys. If you have a guest, you want to bring a guest on, by all means, we'd love to have guests. Talk about, you know, today, how are people surviving? How's the real estate? I live in Las Vegas, like I mentioned at the beginning of this call. Yesterday, the prices for homes here and the demand for homes is very high right now in Nevada. And I moved from San Diego, which I love, and I may possibly move back, but they're saying the same thing. Oh, with a twist. This was actually on the news yesterday. The housing costs in California, but the other thing is, apples to apples, the COVID cases per capita are so much higher in California. People are moving, believe it or not, to escape COVID. So that's another angle right now that the housing market has to deal with here in Vegas, you know. So no end of real estate opportunities in Vegas.
Hey, Jim.
Yes.
Could you show us how to save a farm?
So say this was your farm right here, no matter how you get a farm, okay? Or if I go in, say I go in and I'm putting that zip code down, 91016. If I go in here, clear farm, farming, clear search, always. So you need to build a farm first of all. So if I go into farming, radius search, I put an address in. I used to live in Aliso Viejo. Click. I want to default 1 mile, recenter it, hit next. So I'm just creating a quick farm here, haphazard. And drop out condos and go over here. Let's just say I want out-of-state owners. That'll be a small farm. Hit count. 17 properties, download view records. Let's just say I want to keep an eye on 17 out-of-state owners a mile around my house, which has huge potential right now because people are not flying to California. And you're able to keep an eye on their property. Here they are. So to answer your question, Gabriel, save farm. Name it. Out of state test, whatever. That's it. And just hit save.
Honestly, I haven't seen the download save farm option, and what I can recall seeing is the buy now or purchase or some sort of purchase option in place of the save and download farm. Is that something specific to my account?
No. I'd make a joke and say yes it is, but no. No, it's not. So when you're doing this, are you doing it on a laptop or desktop or what?
Most of the time it's on desktop, but I from time to time will do it on an iPad.
Okay, so the iPad is out then. So let's rule that out. The iPad really need to have the app. That falls under a mobile device. So iPhone, Android phone, iPad, those are mobile. You need the app. If you have, for those that have a Microsoft Surface Pro, that's considered a regular computer with an operating system. And you'll be able to use that just like the desktop or laptop. So for Gabriel, if you are on a laptop or desktop, you should be seeing these icons right here. You should. Export, save, share, save farm. That's the one you want. You should be seeing those. So if you're seeing some of these, you're looking for save farm. That's it. that not the case with you or what?
The previous screen, before we got to this screen where it showed the record count or the count, that's where
Right.
typically I see the purchase records. And I am oftentimes looking at Premier data within my searches. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with that as well.
Right. So if you're here, you wouldn't see it because you're not at the level of where those blue buttons are. That's only once you have the farm up. Once you have a farm saved is where you're going to see these buttons here to save a farm. Because when I created that farm, even though I created a farm, if I didn't save it yet, that's going to cut down on what you see on your screen. So
on the previous screen, when you click on get count, what's the option after that?
And then after you get count, hold on a minute here. Then after you get count, it kind of lost me on that one here. Let's see. Let's go back here a little bit. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Let's go back a little bit. Edit search. And then, so let's just say I'm on custom filters here. I had out-of-state owners. Let's put them back in. And then let's just say empty nesters I want this time. Now get count. So right here, you're not seeing anything but the area search mask. And now get count. And this will be a totally different count. This will be a lot higher than 17. Give it a second. This might be really large, actually. 107, not bad. All right, so even here, Gabriel, I don't see a save farm, right? I don't see it here until I download view records because you haven't really created that new farm yet. So once you download view records, then you have a farm, and now you're going to see it. The save farm option is going to come up right here in a second.
I see. What I'm missing is the download view records.
Button.
Download
view.
Right. So what we'll do is we'll jump on a one-on-one a little bit later or at some point.
Yeah, right on. And then right here, see, and then see it says save farm right there. See it? So that's where you would click and save farm and go through that. Right there.
Got it. Thank you.
And just a FYI, if I hit edit search, depending on where you are in the program, it's either going to say edit search or Premier data here, by the way. So in this case, it says edit search. I click on it, and that will get you back to the area search box, and it'll get you back to Premier data, which you click on, and then it expands. Okay? And I think I already did this today, but again, Benutech, a lot of those navigations, a lot of tips, can't go wrong by visiting this channel. It's really a nice channel with a lot of great helpful things. All right.
And Jim, sorry, one more question.
Yep,
one more question for you, Jim.
Go ahead.
For the mobile app, if typically we're signing up through our Title Reps link that they provide on the mobile app, what's different in terms of signing into the mobile app? Because I have tried signing into the mobile app, but it doesn't take my normal credentials. Is that
so?
normal?
Who's your title company?
First American Title.
Okay. Yeah, it should be the same credentials. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So we can talk about that too. So you have my email. Send me an email on a day that looks good, and we'll do a one-on-one. I'm free tomorrow or Thursday or Friday as well this week. Kind of open really. So anyone that needs one-on-one trainings, and what's different on the app. So here's the deal on the app. The app is like all apps. Let's put it that way. Like I use a lot of Facebook, or for people that are exercising, and there's Strava. Those two apps I use a lot, Facebook and Strava. On the desktop, like our program, this is my point, they look and feel different. That's all there is to it. You're on a phone, you've got, 20% of the screen availability. It's a lot to cram on there. It's a lot of navigation to expect from a phone. Again, I don't care if it's Facebook, Strava, or Title Toolbox. You kind of have to maneuver around. You can do 80% of the functionality of this program on the app. What you really can't do, I believe still, is buy Premier Data on the app. One of the nice things that you can do on the app is sign people up as a title rep. So if you're out with an agent, social distancing, of course, you could sign someone up immediately. That's a nice benefit. I like the fact that your farms are available on the app. I would recommend you maybe do your farming on your desktop or laptop, and then when you log in, those farms would be available on the app. Just a nice little reference. So really what we're missing here on the app is the purchase of Premier Data. I think that might be the only thing we're missing on that, and we haven't done another update to the app. I know we're working on that, okay? So the app will probably be a work in progress for a while still, from what I'm hearing. So it's a good app. Download it, try it out. Your login credentials will work. But again, like Facebook and Strava, it's a little bit different feel, that's all. Other questions? So I'm going to send the links out for those that requested it a little bit later this afternoon. Be looking for our next announcement on what we're covering. And again, love to hear from you what you would like to see on these Title Toolbox Tuesdays, okay? All right, signing off, guys. Thank you. Be safe. Take care.